Hey everybody, it's your Casual Dad back with some more Civilization Explainer videos. Starting a series going deep dive on all of the legacy paths. I know I've talked about them in brief before in another video, but this time we're going to go in depth, talk about how I go about getting them and uh, plans and things to think about. So make sure you leave a like if you like Civ 7, if you like the differences of the game, the new fresh take on things, or if you don't, leave a like for the old school stuff too, or drop me an emoji for engagement that lets me know how you feel. All in all, leave me a sub, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subs by my birthday. Be appreciated. Thank you for that birthday gift. Also, check out some of the links in the description for joining our casual gaming community on Discord or the casual gaming Patreon group. Either way, it supports the channel, helps out a lot. We'd love to see you there and talk about all kinds of games and just having fun. So we're going to jump into it. We have some turn 1 saves from a recent Amina game that we're going to use for each age to look at things specifically. So in the ancient era, obviously we've got to get 7 wonders, and so some of them are found in the tech tree, 6 of them. There's 21 total, but 6 are found in the tech tree, 4 early on, so we're going to start there. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the restrictions, like, Hanging Gardens has to be adjacent to a river, or Pyramids has to be on desert and next to a navigable river. Just know that there's a lot of them that have these restrictions that even in the upper tier, it can either hurt you so you can't get it, or it can help you because the AI who have their advantages can't get it, but you can. And so a lot of that's just going to be down to scouting and paying attention and seeing what's being built. And so don't go for the Hamanga Maui if you have no intention of going for anything on the water and you're not sure you're going to beat the AI to it. Obviously go for it if you have to get 7, but the AI is probably going to build that before you can get there. Depends on the map and a bunch of other things, but just as an example. So the way I like to start off is I almost always start off pottery writing or pottery animal husbandry writing, depending if I need the unit for defensive purposes. But I get the great stele, 200 gold for every wonder in the settlement. It just kind of helps to not fall behind too much. A lot of the early buildings are 220 gold on deity, and then you get, if you have some gold resources, that makes it cheaper for production, or not production, cheaper to buy things in cities. That really does help. It's basically you're getting a building, or 66% of a building every time you get a wonder built, and so it's better than what people kind of give it credit for. So I almost always get the great stele, and then I try to for one of these other 2 down here, depending on my opening, and then Bursa along the way. Bursa is interesting because even the AI doesn't like it a whole lot, and unless you're on a water map, it's not great because it only gives you walls adjacent to the coast. So like I said, unless you're on a water map, it's not really that great. So what I tend to do with Bursa, I'll get Bursa more often than I'll get one of these other ones because the AI really likes these, or it's just I don't have a place for them. If I'm waiting for something to finish researching, or something along those lines, I'll put a few turns into Bursa, switch it out to the saw pit. Saw pit's done, but something else I'm researching isn't done. I'll go back into Bursa for a few turns. So it takes a little longer, but I usually get those 2. Those 2 are almost guaranteed in every game. And so then when I look at the civic tree, because I play on the higher difficulties, oftentimes I'm being attacked early or having to go to war early. So what I like to do is, after I get mysticism, I like to focus on these 2 down here. Dur Shuriken for the defensive nature, you get combat strength, and then your Gate of All Nations, you get +2 war support, which is basically another 2 combat strength when you're defending. So between those 2, you got 5 combat strength when defending in a fortified district, and that levels the playing field when you're on Immortal and Deity really quick. And then I usually take a look at the Civ I'm playing, and is it faster to get their unique wonder going through their Civ tree, or to come through the generic civic tree? Because Persia has Gate of All Nations, but it's faster to just come here. You still get the production bonus regardless of how you unlock that wonder for that civilization. So just get to it as soon as possible. So I usually get these 2. They're not contested all that much if I focus on them early. So like if I'm saving gold for things, like I'll just build this because I'm not really wanting to get more units, more buildings that will start taking away my gold per turn. Or if I just know I'm going to be attacked by the AI, I want to get these two as soon as possible. And so that's 4 of my 7 I need. The Mundo Perdido. I don't know why I always say Manido. Maybe because I like the rhyming. But it's Mundo Perdido. I know, I'm just a little silly. That one can be hard if you're not near tropical. I mean, that is the Maya specific, and before Maya was nerfed when I played it, I didn't even spawn in tropical, so I had to go really far to try and get a spot to put that down. So that was a little frustrating. Sorry, I had to take some water. Petra, again, it's a good one. There's the meme everybody knows about Petra cities, but it has to be desert. So that's kind of a hit and miss. You may or may not get it. The one I usually get is the Emil Bell. That's usually number 5. Because I'm going for still the government secrets so that I can get along faster. And the upper tiers is very helpful to have, which unlocks the Emil Bell, so then I'll build it. Terracotta Army can be hard because the AI really likes these 2 down here. So you kind of have to beeline it most of the time. I mean, again, you got to pay attention to your map. If your map doesn't have a lot of grassland, there's a good chance you can get it, because the AI is not going to. I find that unless Greece is in the game, the Oracle is usually available until the end of the age. Again, make sure you're scouting. By this time, you should have revealed a lot of the map. You can scout the AI or your multiplayer guys to know who's building what. Do they have a slot to build it? And so you can kind of get a feel. So like if you see somebody building Terracotta Army and you're not done researching tactics, maybe you switch to Public Life so that you can get that done and then build the Oracle, because you already know you're not going to get Terracotta Army. And so unless you need the production towards the infantry and ranged units, what's the point of getting tactics, right? Like, you're not getting Terracotta Army. Anyways, not to belabor the point, so let's move on. So we're at 5. We need 2 more. Oracle gives us that 6th one, so now we need 1 more, and we have a lot available. The Waiting Palace can be available pretty late as well, and the Colosseum, as long as Rome's not in the game. These 2 are usually available pretty late, as long as Greece and Rome aren't in the game. And even if they are, I've stolen the Colosseum from Rome before. So don't think just because somebody's in the game that you're not going to steal their wonder from them. It just all depends on how the game goes. These later ones are typically harder on upper difficulties to get, just because of their bonuses. And like this one, the Angkor Wat, it just needs to be next to a river. So like it's not hard to get, right? Or the Nalanda just needs to be put on plains. Like that's pretty easy. This one just needs to be adjacent to coast. Like those aren't hard to get. Adjacent to river for Monk's Mountain. So these last 4 are pretty hard to get, just because they're pretty far down the line and they're pretty easy placement restriction wise. So unless those are in your tech tree, your civic tree, sorry, focus on these other ones. Bursa, Stele, Dushuriken, Gate of All Nations, that's 4, and Milbell's 5, Oracle Colosseum 6, 7, something like that. You're not going to have a problem getting your 7 wonders. And so that is going to take care of the wonders for your cultural victory. The nice thing about the Golden Age and Antiquity is it gives you your Golden Age amphitheaters. Sometimes you want to help out the things you're not good at, right? And so if you are not having a good culture game, you maybe want to take that Golden Age over another Golden Age, so that your amphitheaters, you start off the next age in exploration already with really good culture, because your civ is like a science civ or military civ or something. They're just weak in culture. But keep that in mind. That's another benefit of having that 7 wonders is, you can make up for that. Most of the time you want to double down on what you're good at, but sometimes you're just so bad you need some help. Anyways, we're going to now switch over to the exploration age and talk about the different ways of getting the legacy path and culture for the exploration age. Okay, here we are in the exploration age. Now, to get your exploration age culture a victory, you have to get 12 relics in your empire, and then if you get the golden age, you get to keep your religious founder beliefs if you choose that. That can be very powerful depending on your religious beliefs that you get, and you have to have some kind of religion to get your reliquary beliefs to get relics. And so simply to do that, you just do piety. As soon as you've unlocked piety, you get your belief, your reliquary belief. But you still have to build your temples to get your missionaries out to go do things. So what I typically do is I set all of my cities to culture to get this out as soon as possible, because there's different reliquary beliefs. I can never say that correctly. And so we'll go through here and we'll just look at some of them and talk about them, because this is the major way you're going to get your relics. I think I counted one game. I think you can get somewhere around 4 or 5 relics from events, but those, not all the events are triggered every game. Like, you have to do certain things that trigger some of the events. So I wouldn't count on those events. Now, they're nice. Like, if you already have your relics done, then those events are nice because the alternative is a really good boost. But if you're having trouble with your reliquary beliefs, you didn't get a good one, then those events can really save your life and at least keep you out of a dark age. So we're going to go through them real quick, and I'm going to tell you my favorite one. So, Apostolism, 2 relics for first time converting another civ settlement with a wonder from any age. That's really nice, especially upper difficulties where your AI opponents are going to have wonders in their cities. And so, again, if you scouted well, you know where they are, you go and you just got to convert 6 of those and you're done. It's pretty easy. And there's different ways of doing it, because you can upgrade your religion by going into your Reformation civics. And there's one where you can convert a city by sending a trade route to it. So if you don't really want to focus too much, like, it's a real sly way of getting it done. You don't have to even build a temple or do missionaries, because I've been thinking about this, about like getting exploration age cultures golden age without missionaries, like convert everybody without missionaries. I think it'd be a really funny playthrough to do that, and to do what I just said, of like you're just sending trade routes and it converts everybody. I haven't played around with it to know if it fully converts the city, like if it already belongs to another religion, but that's something to be figured out. So that can help you. So I'm just giving you that as a little bit of extra of like, how can you get this one done? Romanism, 2 relics for first time conversion of another civilization's capital city. This is really, honestly, not that great. You need 6 other capital cities. And so if you're playing on tiny or small, there's not 6 capital cities. You're going to need those events relics to get your golden age. So be careful with that one. 2 relics for first time conversion of another civilization's settlement producing treasure fleets. Again, this one it's just so bad. There was one game early on that I had to take this because I did not focus properly on getting my reliquary belief, and this was like the best one they had. But then whenever I go overseas, it was when the AI started selling the coast a lot better than it used to, and I had one city doing treasure fleets, and 2 of the people from my original continent, they each had 1 city each. So I was like, how can I even do this? So it was very difficult. I did not get a dark age, but I don't think I got a golden age that game. So be careful. I think I said this in a previous video, they need to do some changes and updates to the resource allocation with their resource update. I think they broke it a little bit for the distant lands. Now it's very hard to get treasure fleets between most of the islands only have 1 relic, or not relic, but 1 treasure fleet, if that, resource, and then the AI is just all over the coast, and so you can't even really get onto the other land to get some stuff, and without a lot of war. And so, for those that want to do more of a peaceful run, this makes it really hard. Conversion: newly found towns and distant lands start with this religion in place. So that doesn't really help you too much. Where are our other reliquaries? Can't remember. Okay, here we go. This is my favorite one. 2 relics for first-time conversions of a city-state. This one's super easy because there's, even on smaller map types, there's usually 6 or more city-states. So, and I play a city-state heavy style, and so unless the AI is destroying them, which that also happened to me one time, I think I got 4 city-states, and again, needed those events to help me out. This is great. Get a city-state, whether it's yours or somebody else's, and you convert it, and it's super easy. This one is one of the ones I don't like, along with the alternative one, which I'm not seeing in here. 1 relic for first-time conversion of another civilization, some with at least 10 rule pops, and there's one that's with at least 10 urban pops. Now, the reason I don't like it is because it just slows down the game too much, because you go to the city and you're like, okay, especially the rule pops, like, okay, is this a rule or is it just claimed land? And you're trying to count, and maybe by the time you get over there, it's not rural anymore, it's urban. Or urban, you're like, is there enough here to count? Like, it just, I know you can do it. It just slows down the game. And that's what I don't like, is just that it slows down the game. If you're just going for massive missionary spam, great. You're gonna probably get it. But again, this can be a little, depends on how the AI is doing. You may or may not be able to get it. This is the one I really like. For the military one, when you conquer settlement, it converts your religion. We'll talk about that in the military legacy path. But this one, don't sleep on this one. This one's really good as an added bonus. It's not your reliquary. You've got to add on to it. Okay, then the reliquaries, I believe, is 1 relic for first-time conversion, another civilization with a temple or altar. Okay, well, are you going to be able to get 12 of those in the game? Like, are you going to get 8 of them and need those events to help you? Who knows? It's like, you can see why, like, there's certain ones that are just like, you should aim for these. And I don't know why they're not showing up more of the reliquary beliefs. Let's take that out. Let's just look up our belief system. So it's not letting me show up again. Another little thing that needs to be updated for the game. But let's just put it out there that you need to be careful when choosing your reliquary belief, because it can really, really harm you. Yeah, the Silvapedia is not fully put together. I apologize for that, guys. I thought it was. It can really harm you. Look for the ones, focus on the ones that give you +2 for something, and make sure you get it right. Because you don't want to say +1 in rule, and then you're like, well, there's not 10 rule here, there's not 10 rule here. Like, I'm not seeing 10 rule in some of these cities, right? Like, how am I supposed to get my, maybe this city has 10 rule, I don't know. So just be careful. The culture one in Exploration Age, I think, can be the most tricky, just because it's so hard to, like, know what to do. And so just be careful there. That's all I'm saying. So that's going to be it for the Exploration Age. Now we're going to go into the Modern Age. Okay, here we are in the Modern Age. For the Modern Age, your cultural victory is to get 15 artifacts in your empire, and then you complete the World's Fair, and you get that done. Don't forget, I did not mention these, but these kind of help you along the way of, like, what do you need to do? Track your progress if you need to do that, to help remind yourself of that and so then get 15 artifacts. This is what you have to do. You have to research natural history to get your explorer out, and then if you research the mastery, you get an extra sight range, but then you can do artifacts next to natural wonders, and then every player gets to do every natural wonder at least once. So that's super helpful. I don't have any of those out, but do I have the view? Yes, I do. So come in here, it says research required. So what happens is you have to get your explorer. They've got to go to a university or something to research where they're at. And so there's going to be, your first round is just your antiquity age sites. And so there may be 1 to 3 on each continent, and they're going to kind of look like a goodie hut. But if on this view, they'll have like a shovel. So you got to get your explorer, you go over there, and you dig it up, right? And again, you're going to have some events that give you some artifacts, but there's not many, like maybe 3 or 4 artifacts, and they come at a pretty heavy cost of like you lose some culture for keeping those artifacts. I find it's not a problem. The problem is that the explorers are very expensive now, so that they did that to keep the AI from just having the explorer stack of doom. There used to be like 10 explorers on one tile because the AI just did that too much. I don't know why they didn't code it differently. But whatever, the explorers are really expensive now for everybody. That was their way of fixing it for the AI. They take like 10 turns or cost a lot of money. So like, be prepared to pony up for an explorer, but you need to focus on it quickly because there's very limited number of these artifacts. Like the wonders in Antiquity Age, you need to go for it quickly. But the good thing is, like, you have natural wonders that can help out. So there's several natural wonders, here that you can come by and it can help out. So, I mean, there's 3 right there I see real quick. There's more on the map all over the place. That can help counteract. But then what you do is after you get your natural history, where is it? There is hegemony. They switched around a little bit. Hegemony, your explorers actually can go back through and you get a what is it? Exploration Age artifact. So now, if you missed out on some from Antiquity, well, you get a second go. So if you can get to Hegemony before anybody else, you're going to be able to get those unlocked before your opponents do. But again, you have to focus because there's not that many of them and there's not that many events. You will get some. I think you will get some at least. And no, evidently you don't. You got some in your civics. Oh well. Maybe that's something else I'm thinking of. Probably thinking about the codexes. Not a problem. But regardless, the point is there's not very many of them, so you need to make sure you are focusing on that. It's pretty important. And really, it's also important because when you want to go for your victory of your World's Fair, the more legacy path points you have, the better. And you can't go for World's Fair if you don't have the Golden Age done. So regardless of what you've done in the other ages, if you don't get to here, you cannot build the World's Fair victory condition. You have to, you got to do it. If anywhere, you've got to do it here. Otherwise, forget getting a culture victory. But the more legacy points you have, it tells you right here, gain 10% production towards the World's Fair culture per cultural legacy point. So there's 3 from each age. So that's 9 total, right? 3, 6, 9. So you get 90% production towards the World's Fair, which really means it's like 60% from 40% off, something like that. And so you want to get as many of these as possible. It's the same for all of them. You'll see 10% for each of these. And so, and for economics, a little different, but you want as many legacy points as possible. And so then once you get to the Golden Age, you then just go in to one of your cities, your high production city, you select the World's Fair. It's basically like a wonder, and you let it build, and as soon as it completes, you win the game. So, but be careful. I have not seen it yet because I've outshot the AI, but it would be possible where you want a culture victory, but you have not done a good job in your other 2 ages for whatever reason that you get here. You start it, but because you have, so let's say, 4 legacy points, the AI has 9 legacy points. The AI finishes before you lose the game. Be a real bummer if that happens. So, take this guide in hand and make sure you're getting as many legacy points as you can for cultural legacy points for that cultural victory, and we'll all celebrate together in the casual gaming Discord. The link is in the description below. So make sure you come join that. Make sure you join the casual gaming Patreon, where you get to influence the videos that we do, the series, and even what goes on inside the videos, as well as having some special other perks for supporting the channel to help us keep putting out great videos for everybody. This has been Casual Dad. I've been giving you another Civ 7 explainer video on Culture, Legacy Paths, and Culture Victory. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.